We play and call it work.
Hey there, Wargamers, Josh and Lee here to bring this week's Sit and Talk. First and foremost, my sincerest apologies that this one is going up a little bit late. I ran into some personal things I needed to deal with last week, so unfortunately I couldn't be here to do it, but I got back as soon as I could for you folks to answer all your questions.
We're only off by 1 week, though. So
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
we're good.
I don't even actually know what day we're going to put this up. If it's going to be, like, early in the week or if we'll put it up later in the week.
It might just be Friday.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Either way, it's late. My apologies, guys. Beyond that...
I do have an apology to make, though.
Okay, what's that? Go.
For our last Sit and Talk, I was kind of... I was not feeling it, guys. I was just not there.
Yeah, you were super cranky that day.
Yeah, I was not in a good mood. I do apologize.
I think it was still a good one.
Like, your questions are stupid. They're bad. You should feel bad.
I'm like, Lee, they're not that bad. Like, what are you doing?
The stupid question. I want to go home. It sucks. So,
that's what it came down to. You just wanted to go home.
But, yeah.
Alrighty, guys. So, remember that next week will be Q-Fed Quirk himself.
The
Quifed?
The Quifed. You have to keep making names.
Yeah, I don't have a fresh one for him. Or at least not one that I can see on camera. So anyways, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section for this video. Just say, hey, Quirk or Q-Fed, Beverly, whatever you want to call him, just address him and he will answer your questions. So we're going to go through these in no particular order. And yeah, we're going to spend about half an hour here answering questions. Then if we still have more questions, we're going to jump in the vault to continue on. But let's get right down to it. We're going to start off here with Catfish 666. Greetings, Assemblyman and Paintboy. I have a couple random questions.
That's right.
I have a couple random questions for you. He knows. Yeah, that's what he said. Lee, where do you find the inspiration for when you are kit bashing converting? I can just imagine you blasting some bolt throwers, some old Morbid Angel in your paint dungeon, coming up with awesome conversions. Your Deathwatch characters are super rad.
Thank you. And you're right. Google is a very good friend of mine. So when Matt or someone wants something done, I just Google it and then steal ideas and run away.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, so for...
But a lot of my process is I start doing something and then I realize something like halfway through.
Yeah.
So it's... I don't really plan out that much when I start.
Because how often is it that you're having like somebody like Matt come down and say, I need a conversion of this compared to you wanting to do your own conversion? Like, because there's going to be a difference in thought process there.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't really do a lot of conversions for myself because I just have a lot of time. But with me and Matt, it's basically he calls me up, we talk about ideas, and I go through. And he gives me a couple of days to just like stew in the idea. And then I go back to him and give him a list of bits I think I could use and then just bash away.
Yeah,
That's
off to
pretty
the
much,
races.
Yeah. And
Cool.
usually the project ends up looking way different than what it was supposed to when I started. That's why I don't like doing sketches and stuff, because the idea changes and that's going to affect the way I finish my project. But yeah, it's a generic thing. So,
Fair enough. Like, do you ever draw on, like, is there certain wells that you go back to draw from? Because I talked about when people asked me about the writing stuff, right?
No.
And they were saying, you know, where do you draw inspiration from for certain characters? And with me, a lot of times it's historical stuff that I've read.
Yeah.
Like, is there a somewhat of a common denominator for you? Like a certain
No, not
art
really.
style, feel, or just kind of whatever?
Yeah, just whatever feels right. My computer's full of different conversions from different people.
Okay, yep.
So if you're really into converting and know what's going on, you can actually see where I get my inspirations from. Like the orca drones.
Yes.
That's just a 100% copy of something I found on Pinterest. And I give the guy full credit for that one. They're amazing. So I stole that idea. It's mine now.
So it is theft.
Runs
That's
away.
where he draws inspiration from is
I
theft.
steal stuff.
Question number 2, Josh/Lee. Do you guys like drinking beer? If so, what are some of your favorites? Living in the Las Vegas area, I'm quite spoiled with the local beers available around here. Lee, do you like drinking beer?
I do.
Okay. I also enjoy drinking beer. I think beer is pretty much my drink of choice now.
Go-to drink?
Yeah. There's a bunch of different ones, so we aren't really spoiled too much. I mean, there's, in the Niagara region, more than anything else, I think it'd be wine is probably what you're spoiled with. But there are some pretty cool craft breweries around here. Do you got any standby beers you go to?
Not really. It's the Budweiser. I think it's Canadian Budweiser, though.
Okay, yeah.
The one we have here. I'm not sure if it's different from the
I don't know if
American
it's
one.
different. It's not called, like, America or whatever the
No.
U.S. one is called.
But when I want to be fancy and go to the beer store, it's Carlsberg for me.
You do Carlsberg? Okay. So, yeah, for me, it kind of depends on what I feel. So, or like if I'm eating a meal along with it or not. So, a couple of my ones, like if I want something cheap and basically, I don't mind the PBRs, the Budweisers, anything like that. I can't stand light beer. I think it's the grossest thing ever. It tastes like cat pee smells. Like it's bad. It's just horrible, man.
I'm really glad you added smells
Yeah.
to that one. Like, so you drink a lot of cafe?
Where's you going with this? So yeah, like I don't mind the cheapy beers. Typically, if I want to get something nice, I'll get some kind of a stout.
Yep.
I really like my stouts. But then the amber ales, that kind of stuff
seen you drink
too.
a
Some
Guinness,
pale
though.
ales. Yeah, well, Guinness is a stout, right?
Yeah. I don't like Guinness.
Yeah, I really like Guinness, but I don't like it like out of the can. I
Yeah.
want it to be on tap.
Yeah.
And even then, but there's a couple of cool ones. My craft brewery that I like around here would be Mill Street, and they do one called Tank House, which is, I can't remember how they describe it. It's like a Canadian take on a India Pale Ale. A lot of flavor to it. It's really good. I like it. But then like the Rickards Red, that kind of stuff. Anything that's got some color and some flavor to it. But I don't think you can get any more. Or at least not the brand that I was drinking. But have you ever had like an oatmeal stout?
Yeah, I don't like them.
Oh God, it's a meal in a can. It's amazing. I could subsist off that.
I can tell you a funny story about something that happened just fairly recently.
Oh geez. Okay, go for it.
When drinking, I usually go alone to meet up people. And we're having a couple of beers in, and they're doing a last call.
Okay.
So we're like, let's just get a picture. I'm trying to be really sneaky. And I think it was probably Coors. I took one sip. It was like, yeah, that's all you, dude. This is not good beer.
Yeah.
And my friend was just sitting there with a whole pitcher of beer and my glass.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, no.
Not gonna drink this.
Not gonna force this down my throat.
So yeah, we are both beer drinkers. Alrighty, next we got Chosen One, Josh and Lee.
Chosen what?
I'm actually glad you missed Friday because it gave me a chance to ask a question.
Well, that's a new one.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, this is one that just went up a couple hours ago.
Okay, cool.
Here's something that Sit and Talk isn't going on another hiatus. I missed the interaction with the MiniWarGaming team. Yeah, so again, my apologies for that, guys. I had some family stuff come up. Firstly, did you guys do anything entertaining for Halloween? It's not Halloween quite yet.
Well,
So no, we've done nothing entertaining for Halloween as of yet.
you might be thinking like in the company, like recording something for Halloween.
Yeah, we haven't done anything yet, but
No.
or at least nothing.
Did
that I
we
was
do
here
anything
for.
last year?
No, I don't think so. I think it
No.
was a couple years ago. The last time they did it, Leland was still working. I wasn't working here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'm the one that just crushes celebrations of holidays.
Grinch.
Yep. Did you celebrate Most Holy Candy Discount Day when all the candy goes 50 to 75% off and gloriously rains from the skies? Or is this not a thing in Canada? For glory and so much candy, Chosen One. Do you celebrate Candy Discount Day?
No.
No?
No.
I do. It's lovely.
I don't do Halloween or Christmas or anything.
Yeah, you don't do much of the holidays. Well, okay, so what he was talking about, the day after Halloween when all the grocery stores put everything on discount?
Yeah. I ate enough candy as is.
So you don't do it?
No, I'm trying to cut back on the candy.
Well, that's boring.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry on that one. Not much of an interesting answer there at all. Let's jump down next to Captain Snick Daka. Josh and Lee, who are your favorite Deathwatch members and why? Who's your favorite, Lee?
The Commando.
The Commando?
Yeah.
Any particular?
Because I built him and he looks cool.
Fair enough.
I don't watch the campaign, so I don't even know his name or his rules or anything. Yeah. But he's the one I'm most pleased with.
Yeah, see, I don't sit down and like watch the whole campaign. Sometimes like after, I'll do the after action kind of thing if I'm going to be, especially like writing or continuing the story or something like that. Because I mean, even though I wasn't, well, I was partially involved with the Deathwatch stuff.
It was mostly Matthew though.
Right, like I came up with the concept for it back when we did one of the missions where I made Steve's guys swap from the actual Deathwatch campaign.
Yeah.
And then there's a continuation of Face Stomping. But yeah, I think the sniper guy is probably the coolest looking one.
Yeah.
That'd be my favorite. It's a cool looking gun.
It's big.
Yep. If you could own any weapon from the 40K universe, which one would it be? Ooh.
We're talking like handheld or...
Well, they don't specify that, so...
So, Abaddon's Planet Killer is technically a gun?
Sure. Would that be practical to own, though? And it's just weapon, too, I think, right?
Yeah, true. I don't know. What would be really cool? It couldn't be too out of this world because you'd have to have like ammo reserve.
Well, that's part of what I'm thinking of, right? So there's a bunch of cool weaponry that you would only be able to use so much. But I'm thinking like a human-sized chainsword.
Yeah.
I'm assuming would be able to run off some kind of petrol, multi-fuel kind of whatever.
Yeah, or a power sword.
But again, what's the power system with the power sword?
I know, that's the thing, right? Let's assume we just have batteries for life.
Okay, well, that does change the answer then.
Yeah. So then mine would be a plasma gun.
Plasma pistol.
Plasma gun.
I think I'll go plasma pistol.
I'd go plasma gun.
Pistols are fun to shoot.
But I wouldn't do it because I like shooting stuff. I'd sell it to some military so they can...
Then you're not really owning it.
I know.
They give you any weapon then.
I'll just patent it and it's like, yeah, here's my design.
Well, the gun range here in town doesn't let you shoot rifles; they'll let you shoot pistols. So I guess I'd have to bring my plasma pistol. So okay, if ammunition storages weren't an issue, like a plasma pistol or a bolt pistol or something like that, but like if it was literally just it got dropped into my lap and that's it, probably like a chainsword.
Yeah,
I think a chainsword would be pretty rad.
So many cool things though. I mean, you can go like Death Spinner or Hurricane's Kiss or just anything, just like super creepy.
Yeah, but it doesn't come like with an instruction manual.
I know. How does this work?
Yeah, exactly.
Yay. Just find me in like little cubes.
So yeah, I'm going to say...
We're spoiled for choice.
We are spoiled for choice.
Yeah.
But my basic answer would be a nice simple chainsword because, I mean, that thing should be able to run off just about any different kind of fuel.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's a chainsaw sword. Alrighty here. Bum. Oh yeah, and the last little bit here, he puts, where poor helpless models are in distress from being caked with paint, missing limbs, or completely in pieces, you will find... You guys keep saying it wrong. So I'll correct it for you. You will find Assemblyman and Paint Boy.
Oh.
That's the advantage.
Let's just agree on Assemblyman and Paint Man.
Yeah, yeah. Because... we were talking about it
yeah, it's not a
couple of
superhero
days
sidekick
ago.
thing.
Right.
It's a superhero team-up.
Well, I think the funny line you gave me the other day when we were back and forth, because everybody seems to have stuck with Assembly Boy and Paint Man.
Yeah, someone said Beard Man.
Yeah, that when I get old enough, I could grow up to be Assembly Wing or something like that.
Yeah, Assembly Wing or Beard Wing.
Yeah, Beard Wing. That's pretty good. I find that funny. Okay, next let's jump down here to... See, I'm trying it. I don't do the papers anymore because I mess that up all the time. So I'm trying the iPad. Next we got Flip Mode SH, Josh and Lee. Does Matt feel like a regular employer, or is it more like he is a GM and you are the characters in his game? Well, I mean, like we're employed by both Matt and Dave, right? So
Yeah, I read that one. It was like, there's two.
there's
bosses.
two bosses. Matt happens to be the one that I antagonize a lot more because it's more fun.
Yeah.
But okay, so does he feel like a regular employer? Or is he more like a GM and your character's in his game?
Bit of both.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't feel like a regular employer.
No, he's not like in his office up on high, just like
Right.
untouchable.
I mean, he's very obviously super approachable and involved.
Well, they both are.
Oh yeah. So it doesn't feel like a regular kind of staff and employee relationship. But I haven't really had much of that at the different jobs I've worked at.
I have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit too comfortable
With the
because
whole
I know how
GM
awesome
thing,
I am.
I'm not so sure about that
Pulling
one.
strings. Well, I mean, like back when I used to do the role playing stuff, I basically, as a player, would just try to ruin everything the GM worked hard on. So it does feel a little bit like that. No, it would not actually ruin, just mess with.
This is why you don't get invited anymore.
I get invited. No, actually, ironically enough, now I do get invited. I used to not get invited.
Oh, boy.
Whenever Matt sent out emails, he always forgot to include me. Or like whenever he talked about the
yeah,
team.
but you're no longer the new guy. Now he forgets Luca.
Does he?
I think so. I'm not sure.
I don't pay that much attention.
I'm gonna say yes, he does.
Luca's pretty easy. Luca's pretty memorable though, so I don't know. That's the nice.
So are you.
That's the nice way. Well, not like Luke.
Point.
Um,
I love that guy.
do you think the staff are the protagonists, or are some NPCs he has put in place to cause problems? Yeah, we've all just kind of fallen into place one way or another.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny how that has ended up. Yeah, it does still
To be honest,
feel.
I don't really understand the question.
Well, it's more. I think it's just kind of more talking about like how weird of an environment we work in. Like,
Yeah.
if it feels like manufactured. Like this isn't real life. Like we're
Yeah.
Characters in some kind of drama, which it feels like sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay, and then also, is there anything you hope Forge World will change for 7.1 edition or the 7.5 edition that they're doing with 30K? Any big hopes for you, Lee?
No, not really.
Yeah,
I don't mind if they like tidy up a few things, but nothing really springs to mind.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
don't think they need to make major changes. I wouldn't mind if the assault phase just flowed a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, they got to tidy up the psychic phase to a certain degree, just so Magnus is not too crazy. But they've already said they're going to get rid of invisibility.
Yeah.
And then replace it with something similar-ish, but I can't remember what they're calling it now.
But with his for Magnus, I mean his special ability, you don't use telepathy, you use pyromancy.
It depends on which build you want to go
Yeah.
with, and they're both terrifying
Yeah.
for different reasons. And I think the other thing they've said is the multi-bombing. Like, if your whole squad has melta-bombs, can they all use one?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that back.
Yeah, they're going to bring that back. So there's a couple little things, but yeah, I hope there's no major changes, and it's just a quick little tidy up.
Yep.
So that's what we got for Flip Mode SH. Next here we got Strange Fellows, Josh and Lee. I like to take a Thunder Tusk in my Ogre army, but prefer the look of the Stonehorn model a lot more. Can either of you think of any good conversion ideas to give the Thunder Tusk more life? So the Thunder Tusk is the one with the big...
Yeah, the forward-facing tusk,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
as opposed to like the bullhorn style kind of Stonehorn.
Yeah, one looks like an elephant, the other one looks like a buffalo.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So for the elephant, is there anything you can think that could liven that up a little bit?
Yeah, don't use it. It's ugly. I don't like that model.
Yeah,
We've had this discussion. How does it eat?
messily.
It can't.
I'm not easily.
I mean, could you imagine trying to eat and have like these huge tusks in front of your face? You can't reach the grass. You can't reach anything.
Well, it had to be like something on a branch or something.
But then you have to look up, and then it's always here, dude.
I think it could be done.
I think too much.
Just with a bunch of difficulty. I don't know. Are there other? I'd like to see a reimagining of it. It could be cool if you take some of the other kind of Ice Age era creatures.
Yeah.
I just don't know what you'd use
Like
them
the
as.
megafauna type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about those giant sloths?
Oh, they're scary.
That'd be kind of cool. I'd like to see that because they have the little head, but they've got the big arms. So you'd have to change his hooves out.
Yeah.
So you'd have the big clawed hands. But I'd say, yeah, look at some of the other megafauna out there and see what you could change them to. I don't know what off the top of my head, but there are some options there.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what. But yeah, I kind of see where you're coming with that model. That it's kind of static and boring looking, especially compared to the Stonehorn,
but
even from a model perspective.
Yeah, it's not an easy model to convert though, because it's plates, it's tectonic plates.
Yeah,
that you put together in only this one way, and it's hollow. So there's not really much you can do with
Well,
it.
the heads are separate though. Remember?
Yeah.
So I'd say you'd have to just do a conversion, something different at the head area. I just don't know what.
Yeah, cut the horns off and turn them into a rhino thing. Or...
Rhino could be cool if you give him a big head.
Yeah.
I'd almost say like a head swap. You got to find some suitably cool looking head to put on him, but that would probably be the way to go. But I want to see the giant sloth conversion now. Somebody get working on that. So yeah, sorry, strange fellas, that's the best we can give you. Yeah. I totally get where you're coming from. I just don't have something in my mind to say do it this way instead.
Yeah, me neither.
But crazy big megafauna. Next we got the Crook 88. Hi Lee, any chance of you getting involved in Blood Bowl again soon? And what is the Icelandic word for shadow? So let's do Blood Bowl first. Any chance of you? I mean, like, what do you mean by involved in Blood Bowl?
If it happen, if we do season 3, I'm there.
Yeah. So yeah, if we...
I'm kind of the Blood Bowl guy in the studio, for like, really. I keep pushing for it.
Right. Because everybody's talked about the different teams. I think I'd play maybe a more serious team, but I still like...
But the silly teams are actually pretty good.
Some of them are. Not the ogres. Or the halflings. Or what's the other one? Underworld or under something?
Yeah, Underworld Creepers.
Yeah.
That's a Skaven Goblin mix.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one that's like, it's one of everybody, like all the losers from the other team. So you can have a ton of big guys.
Yeah, you can have, what is it, trolls.
Minotaurs.
Minotaurs and rat ogres.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mixed team. It's pretty cool.
It can be kind of fun
yeah, I mean, I really want to do season 3.
Season 3 would be fun, but yeah, there's not currently any plans for it. I don't know what I would play if I go to the boring dwarves, or if I probably would just break up my lizardmen again because I like that team.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite.
I mean, if you want to win games, you don't play dwarves.
Or you just play ogres. What is the Icelandic word for shadow?
Skuggi. Spell that for me. We'll see if you can do it.
Okay, say it again.
Skuggi.
Okay, so S.
Yeah.
K.
Mm-hmm.
Utki. Did I get it?
Nope.
Oh, was it close?
No. Yeah,
okay,
you are.
so SKUTGE.
No. SKUGGI.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess one of us speaks Icelandic. Mm-hmm. Isn't that just the raisin at the end of the sausage?
Yeah, it is. Find you on a beach?
Okay, Josh, if each member of MiniWarGaming had a number in order that they joined, what would each number be? Okay, so chronological here. Oh, and you say bring back the brown cloths. Do you remember the brown cloths here at MiniWarGaming?
Yeah.
The tablecloths? Yeah. That's pretty old school.
I'm actually one of the few people here that actually got that reference. Because I remember Luca got that too.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, what are you talking? Was it like a Firefly brown coat thing? I was like, no, it's a tablecloth they used for the display thing.
Yeah. So let me think. Everybody that currently works here, which is what I'll stick to. So Matt and Dave obviously were the first ones. Next would probably be, I think, Chris. And then getting into other folks be Steve, Quirk, you, me, Luca.
Well, you forgot someone really important.
Well, I'm talking just like content producer wise, because there's other like behind the scenes people, but I don't know.
But there's
If
people.
we're gonna get into that. But yeah, the people that you see in the videos, that would probably be the number there. All right. Really?
What?
The next question is from Ash Pole 81.
Yeah, we talked about that name. It's pretty funny.
At Assembly Boy and Paint Man.
That's right. Paint Man!
Rest in peace, headphone users. I wish you guys were true blue superheroes and come save me from my laziness. With the dispute between you two on who is boy versus man, we should get it settled once and for all. Can you go around the office and ask everyone's opinion, with the majority of the votes can being the permanent decision? We've already decided that is a not necessarily a Batman Robin setup. This is more of a Justice League sort of thing we got going on. So, yep. Then get someone to cartoon you guys up standing back to back and T-shirt that ASAP. I don't know any artists, but if there's somebody that's watching that knows an artist, or
yeah,
go for it. Keep us in touch. There you go. Sure.
Because I talked to my guy and he doesn't have time.
Yep. You guys are awesome. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
You know what? If somebody comes forward with a design, I will do everything I can to get that onto a T-shirt right away.
Yeah. Because I was thinking like it's
probably
either,
wear
either
that T-shirt.
the armed cross back-to-back thing.
Yeah.
Or splash page like
yep.
towards the camera type thing.
There'd be a couple different...
But no superhero costumes, just us, as is.
Yeah.
Would be really funny.
You can put me in a costume, I don't mind. Okay. What are we doing for time here? You know what? I think we got time for... Is that a 6? I'm not keeping track. We got time for a couple more.
It kind of feels like the clock's like way back there and you're trying to look at it instead of the viewfinder.
Well, it's the viewfinder because I didn't actually keep track on the iPad. No, we got a couple more minutes at least.
Yeah, we're good.
Next we got Ijanovic. How do you say that one?
Which one? I can't see.
The one right after that, Ashpole.
Ijanovic? Yeah, well, close enough. I don't know.
Hi, Josh. Luca mentioned you were the AOS guy from MiniWarGaming crew. No, Luca's the AOS guy. But I will do my best to answer the question for you anyways. What are game rule differences in AOS you like compared to 40k and vice versa? Okay, so some of the major differences between AOS and 40k. The major ones that stick out in my mind would be the way turns work. So for AOS, like if Lee and I were playing, we'd roll to see who goes first the first turn, and then the other person goes. And then second turn, we'd roll again. Yep. So there's the chance for double turns. So that's a major difference. And currently it's something for AOS that I'm kind of over it, to be honest. It messes with the flow of the game a bit too much. It's a neat concept, but I think there's better systems that break up the I go, you go. And my favorite one of those systems, I know I'm getting off topic a little bit here, but if you look into the way that bolt action works, that's my favorite shake-up of the standard I go, you go. So yeah, 40k uses a more traditional system as far as turns go. One of the other major changes, let me think here. Obviously, 40k, when you build your squads, there's a little bit more customizability going on there for weapons and points and everything like that. Age of Sigmar lets you usually bring different weapons, but it's the same point cost. So list building for AOS is a little bit simplified, which I actually like AOS list building a little bit more because it's a little bit simpler. And I find for AOS it gets away from the min-maxing a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because in AOS, typically you don't buy models one at a time unless they're big models. Like if you've got a squad, the
first...
first...
have that in 40k, though, with the power level.
There is, but I mean, like...
But it's...
The power level system's too basic.
No.
I don't know anybody that actually really uses the power level system anymore. I think everybody uses
it's good as an introduction into the game, though.
Right. So, I mean, 40k's list... Or, sorry, Age of Sigmar's list building I like a little bit better. Other than that, let me think. It's easier to get multiple artifacts if you're playing AOS. Because for every different War Scroll battalion you can bring extra artifacts on guys.
Yeah.
And the way it works in 40k is it's one per army, but you can spend command points. So that's another thing that's different is you get command points in 40k, but not in Age of Sigmar. So Age of Sigmar uses the War Scroll Battalions, which are, like a group of models that you bring that get some rule benefits for bringing them as a group, but they cost a little bit more.
No.
So you could bring model A, B, and C in a War Scroll Battalion and pay a little bit of extra points, and now they've got this upgraded benefit. 40K currently doesn't have anything like that.
Yeah,
But
kind of like the old school
formations, if you're familiar with formations. Beyond that, combat works a little bit differently as far as when you get to swing. 40K uses a system where all the squads that charge get to swing, and then it's an alternating, the active player picks a unit to swing with and the other player does. In Age of Sigmar, simply the way it works, it doesn't matter who's charged or whatever else, active player picks a unit to swing with, and then the non-active player picks a unit, and it's back and forth like that.
No.
And the other big change...
The 3-inch threat bubble.
Yeah, there's the 3-inch instead of the 1-inch for engagement.
Yeah.
So there is that too.
Because 3 inches on the table it's a lot.
Yeah, it does kind of create some different situations going on there if you don't want to charge in. And the other major one I can think of would be just the way shooting works into and out of close combat. In Age of Sigmar, it's fine. If you got line of sight, doesn't matter if you're engaged, not engaged, your target's engaged or not, you just shoot at each other. The way it works in 40K is there's a lot more limitations, which I won't go over everything, but typically if you're engaged in combat, for the most part, you can't shoot or be shot.
No.
They've got a couple of things like pistols that make some differences, but yeah. So that kind of gives you a quick overview. I mean, both systems have their merits. Currently, I think 40K is a little bit more fresh, and I'm having a little bit more fun with it, but Age of Sigmar is still pretty good. It just, there's a couple things that are still just kind of bothering me, and it's mostly the turn sequence. It's just, guys, I tried to defend it since the first General's Handbook, because they made some great changes, and it's still...
Yeah, the thing that sticks out to me
there's something better that can be done.
Yeah, the thing that sticks out to me is the whole... I mean, I don't mind the hits on thing, but it's the wounds on thing.
Gotcha, okay, yeah. So there's no toughness values in Age of Sigmar either. It's just you have a static to hit and a static to wound value.
Yeah, so if you hit wounding on 3s and something gives you a +1 to wound, you're just wounding everything on 2s?
Yep.
It's like, okay.
It could be a little over the top.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's just for speed and having it simple, but it shouldn't be as easy to wound a big guy as a small guy. I mean, I don't know.
When Age of Sigmar first came out, I really loved it because it felt very streamlined, quick to play, fun to play, compared to 7th edition 40K. But now 8th edition 40K has done a really good job at being streamlined, but there's still a little bit more depth, I think, than Age of Sigmar has.
Yeah.
Which is what's got me pretty interested in, well, I still love both game systems.
Yeah.
But 40K, I'm having a little bit more fun with right now. But also because I guess they're releasing stuff so quick for 40K, and we haven't seen much for Age of Sigmar.
True. We
So
get the occasional General's Handbook.
Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
but there hasn't...
40K is just codex.
Just one after another.
Yeah.
So guys,
Can't
that's not at all. That's what we got for you for this portion of this week's Sit and Talk. Lee and myself are going to jump down into the MiniWarGaming Vault now to answer the rest of your questions. Remember that next week will be Beverly himself answering your questions. So if you want to go ahead and leave questions for Beverly, the Bevs, QFed, whatever you want to call them, feel free. And yeah, check us out in the Vault video in the link below. If you're not a Vault member, you can check out the link anyways. It'll take you to the 7-day free trial. You get to check out the rest of our Sit and Talk, as well as all the other fun stuff we have in the Vault. Everything we do in pairs, so it's twice as much content, and you get access to Chris and Janine's painting tips and tricks, all sorts of fun stuff. Check it out, folks, and I will see you later. Happy wargaming.